No,
No? Not
no,
going
I
to do
feel
your
like
click a
that
bit?
ship has sailed.
Okay. Fine. Go on then.
I've got a question
Oh,
from a fan,
fan. What sort of fan? Is it
podcast fan.
Ooh,
Yeah,
podcast fan.
yeah,
Very good.
podcast
Go on
fan.
then.
The only one, but you know,
Mhm.
they did ask a question, and they said, "Hey, Jeff and Josh, loving the podcast. Really enjoying the value that you guys are bringing. Question for you: do you feel like AI will replace high ticket closers?" Great question.
And it's very coincidental because that was my idea for a topic today. Believe it or
Really?
not, I was thinking about AI. Will it replace closers?
Let's talk about it.
Oh, that could be a good one. Let's talk about it. Do you want
What
to
do you think?
start?
I, I don't mind. You want to rock paper scissors?
That's the three.
Let's go.
Hang on, we're we doing it on shoot, go, rock, paper, scissors, what?
3, 2, 1, go.
Right.
Three,
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 two,
2, 1, go.
what? What?
Jesus Christ, this
Right.
is impossible. Wait, I'm going to flip my phone. I'm going to flip my phone, and if it lands face up, no, I'm going to flip.
Yeah.
Fucking you choose. Face up or face down.
And I was scissors and you were rock. You start, go for it.
All
We've
right,
already
fine.
lost the one viewer that sent in the questions.
Yeah, that one fan has gone. These two are fucking imbeciles. I'm never listening to your podcast ever again. Okay, here's my hot take on whether or not I think AI will replace high ticket closers or sales reps in general. The short answer for the short term is no, I don't. And the reason I say that is because as good as AI is, it is still not good enough to be able to replicate a natural, keyword, natural human conversation in real time. It takes too long to think. It has to be programmed with too many responses and stuff like that. The slightly longer time frame and the even shorter answer is I think, yeah, it probably will. Look at the music that can currently be produced with AI. So now what's the point in musicians? Look at the artwork that can be produced with AI. So what's the point in studying to be an artist? Look at all of the jobs it can now do. Look at automated driving. And last year when I was in Scottsdale was my first time in a Waymo, a completely driverless car. Dude. So do I think eventually? Yeah, I think it probably will. I think it maybe over the next 5 years, it will get good enough to be able to replicate a human conversation that is completely indistinguishable from an actual person. What do you reckon?
I think that time frame, we could probably collapse a little bit. Are you familiar with Cluely?
No.
Other
George Clooney,
other things like
that
no.
famous actor.
Yeah, that one. So there's a software which I still haven't figured out whether it's genuine or not, or whether they've just got a massive marketing department. But it was first developed to help students teach. Oh my god, I can't talk. It was first developed to help students cheat on tests. That is a bit of a tongue twister, so I'll let myself off.
Put your teeth in. Come on.
But essentially, it's an undetectable piece of software that sits over the top of your screen and your applications and can read the data in real time and give you feedback in real time. They very quickly figured out, well, it has much wider applications than just helping students cheat on tests. I said it. And it is now being marketed as sales. So it is a real time AI feedback. They've said this could be an idea to say this to follow up with. Now, I haven't tested it to any efficiency to know how good it is, but I do agree we're not quite there yet. You look at Hollywood, everyone is saying that, the big budget films are going to be gone. There is going to be no need for Hollywood and actors because we can make everything. Again, to a degree with AI. I was watching a video last night where you can create these very, very good prompts. And there was one of, I think they did Darth Vader for a 5-second clip. And then they said, okay, extend the clip and make him do this. What the AI couldn't do is remember the specifics. So the background was slightly different. The angle was slightly different. The cape had gone. The voice was a little bit different. So obviously we're rapidly advancing and it is pretty scary what it can do now. I do think that day is coming. I think like everything, there is a limited time frame. And I think if you want to get into high ticket sales and make a good amount of money, yeah, the potential is 5 to 10 years. a lot of companies probably will have picked up AI. Does that mean remote high ticket closing is going to be dead? In my opinion, absolutely not.
What makes you
Because
say that?
we are, because we're skeptical people.
Mm,
We still crave human emotion and interaction. One of, whether you class yourself as a lone wolf and you're that sort of person, everyone has a tribal need to connect and resonate and, be part of something.
but if you can't tell the difference, how do you know you're not connecting?
Well, that's the thing. If it's that's what remains to be seen. Does AI just become very advanced chatbots that can pick up on tonality and Zoom calls no longer happen anymore? In that way, yeah, it could be quite hard to tell if
Maybe
we're
Zoom
still
calls
doing
still
business.
happen. Look at Sora 2.
Yeah, maybe they do. Maybe
Mate,
yeah,
that
Hollywood. Maybe they
Sora
do.
dude, Sora 2 just put every single UGC creator out of business.
Mhm.
No point in UGC anymore because you can literally just replicate anything you want. And dude, honestly, I saw a video yesterday, and normally I can tell whether it's AI straight away. Dude, I could not tell.
Was it Mark?
Is it
Was it
what?
Mark Cuban? That one. Was it
No,
Mark Cuban? That
no,
one.
it wasn't.
Oh, right,
No,
okay.
no, it was a friend of mine who's been playing around with Sora 2, and they
Mhm.
literally just sent me a message and said, "Look at this ad I've created." And I was like, "Dude, that's fire." And he went, "It's not
Mhm.
me." And I went, "What?" And it's got his tonality, his little vocal
Uh-huh.
inflections, the way his face moves when he talks. Like honestly, man, it's frightening.
Yeah.
Frightening. The question is, what jobs are going to be left when, let's say a decade, when, we've had to deploy Skynet and we're officially that's another thing. You see, they've created a robot that can change its own battery now. Change its own battery. So, dude, even like you imagine that the military start producing, you ever seen the movie I, Robot with Will Smith?
Mhm.
Yeah. So imagine the
Yeah.
military start producing all of these humanoid robots. Only if you want to shut them down, you can't because it can just go and fucking boot itself back up again. Has
Have you seen,
nobody watched
oh,
Terminator?
yeah, obviously. John Connor out there fighting the fight. But the better one, have you seen the one with Megan Fox where she plays an AI robot?
No.
Oof.
Oh,
Oof.
oh,
There's a very, yeah, go watch it. That's all I'm saying.
okay. It's Friday night. That is on the viewing list.
When the missus isn't around and you can have some fun. That's all I'm
Oh,
saying. Back to
you
topic.
absolute rotter.
Right, we'll stay on topic, remote high ticket sales. The thing that I always sort of think about is seeing a lot of the salespeople out there. This is going to be controversial. I wouldn't actually mind if it did because we talk about it all the time. One of the forgotten things in sales is we are there to facilitate change. We are there to help people. And we see it far more often than we should. People aren't getting the help they need because of reps that just aren't trained to the right standard. Reps that just shouldn't even be in sales because they're just not that sort of person. Now, an AI is never going to have that problem
Mhm.
because it can be trained, it can be fed million data points of human psyche and look at their face, and if they raise their eyebrow and they scratch their head and they're looking down in that direction, it can search ChatGPT to go, what does that typically mean?
Mm.
Oh, their left side brain, their right side brain, they're looking down, that means they're lying. Unless we all stick Elon Musk's Neuralink in our heads,
Would you
or
ever
the
get that?
top 100%, why not?
Would you?
Yeah. Well, I don't know what you can do. I've only heard like a 30-second clip on the radio, but I'm all down for it.
Mate, you'd have to walk around with one of them things on the side of your head like people with Parkinson's do. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah, well up for it.
If it makes me smarter. I think I first heard about that a couple of years ago, and it was like it cured blindness, where it had given someone who had been blind for like 10, 20 years the ability to see again.
Dude, where are we? What
Yeah, all right.
what is this world
Like
that
they
we
could
live in?
wake. I know they could wake me up in the middle of the night and just send me out completely unconscious because they're tapped into my head and my nervous system. But if it makes me sing even better than I already do or dance a little bit better, then I'm all down for it.
Mate, imagine if it made you sing even better.
I
You'd be the next pop star. You would.
I mean, if I wasn't as good as salesman closer as I am, that's the backup, really, isn't it? That's
Gotta
always
be.
there to fall back onto.
Gotta well, there's no point,
But
that's
there we
fucked,
go.
isn't it? Because of AI, so that's good that there's no job role there either. Does make you wonder, like,
But yeah,
what 20 years, look at, I mean, how long have we had AI now? What, 2, 3 years? Properly?
no,
Longer?
I've had it a lot. Well, when it's been good, yes. When it's actually first sort of
Yeah,
started
no,
coming out a bit more mainstream, a lot longer. Yeah,
like the LLMs that we currently have and stuff like that, about
yeah, yeah,
3 years, isn't it? So
yeah.
look at
But,
what's been achieved from the first basic ChatGPT to things like Sora 2.
mm.
You give it another decade, give it another 2 decades.
Yep. It's a scary place. We talked about it on the last episode. One of the reasons we think communication has suffered so much and people are so disconnected, and why we see so many reps not doing what they should be, is because of the internet technology. And
Mm,
that's been over, the last 20 odd years. You
mm,
look at the advancements that are made day after day after day. One company brings out the GPT, the AI model, to end all GPT and AI models. The next day, there is one that is 5 times infinitely more powerful and can do everything. The next day, the same. The next day, the same. It is pretty scary. Having said that, for where we are today, I've tested AI sales chatbots. For right now, they're absolute dog shit. So
yeah, I agree.
I say that there might be some good ones. Everyone I've ever interacted with or tested or looked into just do not cut the mustard. So I
Yeah,
think for now, we're going to be okay. In the future,
I agree. I agree. I've tested
tweak them
loads as
done.
well, and they're just terrible. They're really terrible. I'm not saying AI doesn't have a place in the sales process with regards to, doing things like grading applications and sending text messages and all of that kind of stuff. That's fine. But as for a real human conversation, it's nowhere near yet. It's still nowhere
Mhm.
near. And
What about
also,
analyzing?
how about what?
What about analyzing sales calls? So not, more so the transcripts, not because it hasn't really got the ability to sit there and pick up body cues and tonality and all that sort
No,
of stuff.
I think if you know how to prompt it, do you know what I mean? You've got to prompt it really well. Like you've got to create a separate GPT, and you've got to know how to feed that thing thousands, tens of thousands of data points before it could do a reasonably decent job. Do you know what I mean? And I know people that have created GPTs that analyze sales calls. I'm still not convinced. I'm still not convinced for the same reason that AI isn't ready to replace a sales conversation, is the same way that it can't analyze tonality and pitch and inflection and minute facial changes and stuff like that. It can't do the same on a call, you know?
Yeah.
It can analyze the words, but if the words, like we've discussed 100 times before, if the words are only 9 to 12% of the actual sale, then the remaining 90 odd percent is still not possible for AI to do it. So
Yeah.
I don't
Couldn't
know.
agree more. I tested it for a team and I was like, I'll just feed it the transcripts and I'll just, for the sake of it, see what it gives back.
Hmm.
And despite, prompting it, copying and pasting in, probably a couple hundred conversations into a document. So it had a good amount of reference material. Yeah, just nowhere near good enough. Like you said, non-verbal communication. We attribute far more to that than we do the words that are on the paper. I think it was the last episode we were talking about it. So,
Yeah.
you could say all the right words if you lean back in your chair, if you frown at the wrong time, if you look disinterested, if you're moving around. If we have AI that has the ability to, something out of the movies, like when they have like the sonar going off and it's like the whole grid and every like megapixel is being analyzed and it's like, okay, that eyebrow went up, precipitation and like, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Then yeah, 100%. Until it can do that, I don't think we've got any, it's not worth doing it there. You would probably give reps very bad feedback if you just fed a transcript into a GPT right now and said, here's your feedback based on that last call.
I agree. I agree with you 100%. It's just, it can't
Yeah.
replicate doing an actual real-time call review, and anybody that is feeding transcripts to a GPT and you're analyzing only the words that are being used, you're missing roughly 90% of everything that is important in sales. So any lazy ass fucking sales managers out there that are just ripping transcripts through GPTs, you suck. I think we just
But the
lost a
reality
subscriber.
is, Yeah. Thanks to the sales manager that submitted that question. The reality is, like, if it was that easy, all the reps would just do it themselves and they would be progressing and they'd be getting better and better and better. The problem is, yeah, it doesn't work like that. I think you touched on it earlier. There's a lot that can be done with AI to massively advance businesses. Like, for example, if you were wanting to really double down on your marketing, and you feed it 500 sales calls transcripts, and I go, I really, really want to deeply understand my ideal client avatar. What are their
Perfect.
pains? What are their goals? What are their desires? What keeps them up at night? How long have they been struggling with like this? Turn this into a detailed, breakdown of my ICA. How
Yeah.
do I turn that into content? And don't ask it just to write the entire script because it'll be crap. But the points, the hooks, what's important to them. For
Mm.
that, fantastic, because it would take you weeks and months to do that from a manual perspective. Email, autoresponders, all that sort of admin-y stuff. Yeah, great. The high level stuff, the revenue generating stuff, like the back end, sales,
Yeah.
or the front end, back end. Yeah. Nope. Nah.
Not
And flip
today.
side, if you are a rep, go on.
No, no, it's all right. I was just talking shit.
I was going to say, if you are a rep, then I think AI can definitely help you improve. But again, we're not saying don't use it at all. We all know that unless sales managers grow, 10 pairs of heads and there's a big team and 8 arms and they can sit there analyzing every single sales call, if you want to be the person doing the work in the shadows, trying to do what you can, then yeah, spend some time with ChatGPT. Ask it to analyze the call. Don't take everything as gospel, but you might pull out a couple of little golden nuggets where, for example, we're selling a fitness offer and it says you were a 3 out of 10 on pain. Okay, why was I 3 out of 10 on pain? Because all you got from them was they wanted to lose 20 pounds. Yeah, no, do you know what? Fair enough. That's probably why I got to think about it. Objection at the end. Or I'll just go and watch YouTube. That makes sense.
Hmm.
Let me work on that. Let me take that to my sales manager and go, I think these are areas that I need to focus on. What do you think?
Yeah. Yeah. I like that.
AI, right?
That's a good use.
Yeah. AI role play bots. Have you ever played with any of them in a sales related manner, not anything else sort of manner?
Oh, no.
No, not sales. Just everything
No,
else.
not sales. I just asked it some dirty questions.
Oh,
Have you?
good experience, bad experience with the role play ones for you?
Good experience?
I think
Yep.
if you're new, you'd probably be like, this is really cool. I think if you've
Yeah.
sold above, couple 100,000, you'd probably be like, yeah, this is like day one of being back in school. Maybe good just for a little bit of, keeping you on your toes. They've said this, what's the typical sort of thing that I might say? But the problem with all of it is it doesn't have any context. We talk about all the time, like objection handling. We can sit there and role play objection handling until we're blue in the face. Without the context of why that objection has come up in the first place, you're just going through objection handling for the sake of going through objection handling. And you're
Yeah.
never going to overcome it because there's nothing to overcome. It's a fictitious scenario with no fuel to it. And it's the same with the role play things. All they're really doing is testing you to see if you know the word tracks. I know the
Yeah.
words to, my heart will go on. Doesn't make me Celine Dion. I can know the objection handling too. Everything doesn't make me a good closer.
Dude, I've heard you sing. I think you're literally maybe a week away from being Celine Dion.
Well, it is coming up to winter, so things do start to shrink and go up a bit. So that might bring the octaves up
There you go.
a
There you go.
little bit.
Soprano.
Might put me a
From
bit.
tenor to soprano. This podcast
Right,
is off
we
the
are
rails.
22. I know we're 22 minutes in. I haven't addressed the fact that I'm wearing sunglasses because I've got massive vertigo. So to the 3 people that do watch that were out of here 18 minutes ago, it's not a fashion choice. I'm just protecting my eyes. So I've got a big light right in front of me.
How is the vertigo, mate?
Well, as long as I stay semi-still, then it's okay. As long as, as soon as I move, then it's all fucked. But,
No good.
no
Quick
good.
one
Go on.
today.
I feel like I've been talking for the entire of this podcast. What else you got to add to it? AI.
I don't know, mate. I think we've covered it, haven't we? Is it going to take your job imminently? No. Will it eventually? Probably. I mean, what
I think
more
like
is there to
anything,
say?
there will be a next thing.
Yeah.
Look at anything in time. There are peaks and waves, there are highs and there are lows, right? The Industrial Revolution. I'm sure at the time, everyone thought coal would be around until, the earth was swallowed by the sun. That fucked off. However many facts. Look at like NFTs a couple of years
Mm,
ago, where that was like this is the new Bitcoin. And then, I mean, 6 months later, it's dead. Everyone lost their money. Now, I'm
Mm,
not saying AI is going to go away. I'm saying just because high ticket sales might change a little bit, there's still going to be requirement for people with that skill set.
yeah,
Maybe a few more people become more like CSMs, customer success managers, actually just working to coach in the back end, which I
yeah,
think for a lot of people they really enjoy. Because rather than just battling objections, you actually get to work with people in the long term, take them from £250 to £180, see that development, not just physically, but mentally, what it does for their life. For a
mm,
business owner, taking them from stress, break even, my business is failing, to we've turned it around, you built a business of your dreams, your skin's clearer, you look happier.
yeah. Well,
We've,
that
we've,
was
we've
my
always said it,
progression
the
path.
best salespeople.
That was
Yeah.
my progression path. I went from full-time closer to back-end CSM, and you're still closing, you're still selling because you're selling the back end, you're selling the upgrades, you're selling the continuations. But it's a
Yeah.
different type of sale because it's now a sale where you have a relationship with somebody because you've been working with them for 2, 3, 4 months, whatever. And I enjoyed being a CSM. I thought it was good. It develops a lot more skill sets than you have as a closer. So you develop as a person and you develop your skill set, but you're still able to sell, so you're still able to make some commissions.
Yeah. It's like if you work in car sales for long enough, you'll inevitably have someone who bought a car from you come back to you 6 months, 12 months, a few years down the line, and you'll sell them another car and they'll ask for you specifically. And it's that same sort of thing. It's now,
Yeah,
a much different sale because it's a relationship sale.
yeah,
It's, I remember you, how's the family, how's the wife? Oh, they're 10. The last time I saw you, they were 7. Oh, blah, blah, blah.
yeah.
It's a very different, nicer sort of sale. I don't think we need to worry about it though. To actually answer the question, I think we've probably got a very good run, 5 to 10 years, which, let's be honest, is more than the average span of closers, even from start to finish.
Yeah. I think
What
people
would
should
you
just
say the
treat it as a
actual?
cash grab.
Yeah,
Get
that's
in while
what.
the going's
Let's
good.
be honest. That's what 99% of closers do. Cash grab. They come in, make as much money as possible as they can for a couple of years. If they're smart, they start building up investments in the back end. Everyone opens a low ticket community, and then they start coaching. That's the.
Literally the life cycle of a closer. Yeah. Ain't that the
Sorry, they
truth?
become a CS. They become a CSM in the middle, somewhere in
That's
between.
right. Somewhere in there, there's a CSM position for about 2.5 months. Yeah. Before they realize that that's
Yeah.
hard work as well.
Honestly, yeah, if you're listening to this here in, 2025, 2026, even 2027, I can't speak for the next couple of years because, like we've said, things are rapidly evolving. But I personally don't believe this is going to be extinct anytime soon. And even looking forward to 10 years' time, I still don't think it will be. I think it might have changed, it might have shifted, it might be a little bit different from how it looks today. There's
I
still
think
going
you're
to be a
right.
need for it.
I think you're right. And there's one other thing is that whenever somebody does use an AI, now this is only in the States as I understand it, but when somebody does use an AI like appointment setter, the AI has to make it aware that they're speaking to a robot. So that's legislation in the States. So for me, there is like, option one, keep talking to Jeff AI. Option two, will be to be put through to a person. And dude, I think there will be an unwavering amount of people that will go option two. I want to speak to a human. I don't want to speak to a robot. So that's for consideration as well. Even if it does get good enough, it's not going to wipe out the entire industry because, like you said, people are craving connection. So there's still going to be a huge amount of people that are like, I do not want to speak to a fucking robot. I want to speak to a person about my problems. I don't want to talk about my problems to a machine. So
Ooh, but let's play devil's advocate with that. That's an interesting concept. We know what men can be like when they're not very forthcoming, especially if they're an A-type person. Let's
yeah.
just play the other side of that for a second. Would it be, or would it be like, I know this isn't a human being. This AI isn't going to judge me. This AI is just going to take the information that I give it, hold no judgment, raise no eyebrows, and go, gotcha. On to the next question. It'll put, if it's good, it'll
Good
paint
point,
probe, all that sort of stuff, but it's not a human.
mate. Good point. Great point.
So we're going to retract everything we've said for the last 28 minutes and 36 seconds. We're all fucked.
Yeah, we're all fucked. You should probably learn
CSMs,
how to code AI.
how to code AI. Yeah. Don't bother learning how to stack shelves because there's a robot that knows how to change its own batteries and it will do that,
Already got them in
till the
Amazon.
sun goes down. Yeah, we have, haven't we?
You ever seen the inside of an Amazon warehouse with all them robots going and collecting things and dropping stuff off and, you know,
Hmm.
tales from the crypt?
Maybe Judgment Day is just round the corner. Maybe
Oh,
we need to keep an eye out for John and Sarah running around,
I'm telling
in
you,
bunkers and blowing things up.
mate, it's coming. It's coming. Do
It
you
is
know what?
scary when you think about
That's
it.
the movie I'm going to watch tonight. I'm going to watch Terminator. Terminator 2.
No. Megan Fox. Megan
Sorry.
Fox.
I'm going to
Yeah,
watch
no, hang on.
Megan Fox
No. Forget Megan Fox. Terminator 2 is the best of the Terminators.
for
100%.
sure. T2,
For
great
sure.
film. Great film.
Mhm. T3, meh. I've
Mm,
come to like it a bit more.
have you?
Just,
I
it's
never watched
part of
it.
it. It's meh, because it's part of the series.
Wait, which is the one where they drop Arnie into the boiling molten metal?
T2.
That's T2, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
T2.
that's my
Yeah.
favorite for sure.
Yeah.
Still love a bit of the OG though.
100%. Yeah, I like it when he cuts his arm. Well, we could probably
Yeah,
talk about
okay.
it. It's an
Right,
old
we'll
film.
go. Yeah, we say fuck enough on this podcast. We're probably only ever
I
like
still remember
24 hours from being cancelled.
I've got a story specifically around Terminator 1. I'd been at the beach when I was younger. It'd been a blistering hot day, hadn't eaten a lot, hadn't drunk a lot. I remember I was with my dad, my nan, and my sister. We all sat around, for some reason, just watching Terminator with dinner. Because, why not? As a dinner sort of film.
As you
I'm
do.
sat there eating my tagliatelle and chicken. And then as they tell me the story, I went from head up here, eating my chicken, to then my feet were where my head was because I'd just gone completely off the chair. As he was doing the scene where he was removing his eye in the mirror, I'd fainted. Obviously, heat, dehydration, that, and then watching that on telly, I flipped off my chair.
Game over.
Just game over. Absolute wimp.
That's what I'm going to do tonight, watching that Megan Fox film. I just passed out.
You'd be flipping something, but I think it would be the bed sheets and the tissues, not the. Anyway.
Okay, lovely. Anyway, that's the end of the podcast for this week. Always a pleasure to see you, mate.
Always good to see you. Yeah. Have a good
Until next
weekend.
time.
I'll see you next week.
Cheers, buddy.
Cheers for now.